commercial, I am thrilled to introduce this man who he loves to make people laugh, and I love to laugh. Maybe you didn't notice. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna love his name. It's so musical. Mitch Frumkin.
Don't stop.
La
The name came from my father who's right over there. But what a great audience. I mean, you guys are applauding me and yelling for me. You don't even know me. So don't stop. Now I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'm a middle-aged Jewish guy from New Jersey, and my family will tell you, I have a lot of my family here today. I have a lot of issues. A lot of issues. A lot of issues. One of the reasons I like to get up here in front of people is because it's therapy for me. And the more you laugh and the more you make comments, that's therapy. It makes me feel better. So feel free in the next few minutes, laugh, scream, anytime you want, just go for it. But it really is good therapy. But
You didn't know the dad.
that's my mother, by the way. So let me tell you where it started. It started when I was born. Now picture this. Mom. I bring her to every show I do. For the first 5 or 6 days after I was born, just picture this. I'm wrapped up in this little blanket. I'm nice, and this is my sister-in-law. I packed the house tonight. So I'm wrapped up in this little blanket, nice and warm, cuddly, cozy in my bed, in my little crib. Every couple of hours, somebody comes in and gives me a nice warm bottle of milk. This goes on for 3 or 4 days, and I'm so comfortable, and then all of a sudden, like any other Jewish event, all of a sudden, there's more and more people coming into the house, and I hear noises in the background. And there's food, and I hear my mother giving out the gefilte fish, and bagels and lox, and it's going on and on for a while, and I'm just laying there in my crib so comfortable. Then all of a sudden, what happens? You know what happens? All of a sudden what happens is my grandfather and this man with a very long white beard come into the room, look at me, and pick me up. They carry me downstairs to the dining room. You've been there, huh? They carry me down into the dining room, slide over the chopped liver from the table. And all of a sudden, I'm looking up, my parents are standing in the corner with this look in their face. I was their first son. So they have this look in their face, and all of a sudden, after a couple minutes, my grandfather pulls my diaper down, spreads my legs. The man with the long white beard starts singing some song in a language I've never heard. And he pours a thing of red wine in my mouth. The next thing he did was he sliced my penis in half. I missed that one.
I've seen it. It's around.
For years, I couldn't understand why, whenever somebody went to give me a drink, my immediate reaction was to... I told them to laugh with me or laugh at me. So, I don't know if you know this, but if you go way back in the history of Judaism, this ceremony that I'm talking about is called the bris. And actually, probably you don't know it, but one of the words that came out of bris over time is brisket. Keep laughing. Therapy's great. So I grew up, I have a brother who's here tonight, he's right over here. I have 3 sisters. The 2 that are talking to me came here tonight. They're sitting over here. You know, when you're growing up, what happens is your parents collect mementos of you over the years. So for years and years, my parents are collecting mementos of my brother and my two sisters, baseballs, newspaper articles, clips, and all that kind of stuff. For years and years, they're collecting this stuff on my siblings. Nothing on me. So I'm figuring that I did nothing of value when I was growing up. They're collecting nothing for me. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, and this is true, my father, who's sitting right over there, comes up to me and says, Mitch, I'm 87 years old. I'm not going to be here forever. But there's something I've been saving for you. And I was shocked. I had no idea what it was. So he walks me into the kitchen, opens the freezer. Opens the freezer, and in the back of the freezer, there's a plastic bag. And there's something in the plastic bag that's covered with freezer frost. So I said, Dad, I can't believe you're still holding on a piece of my wedding cake from 30 years ago. He says, it's not the wedding cake, it's your schmeckle. All right, so now let's move on to the next Jewish ceremony. It's called becoming a man. So in the Jewish religion, when you become a man, there's a ceremony, it's called the bar mitzvah. So what happens is that the little Jewish boys, when they become 13 years old, they're in the synagogue, and for hours, they're up on the, I don't know if you know, it's called the bima, it's the stage. It's like I'm on a stage here, but in the synagogue it's called the bima. They're up on the stage with the rabbi, and the rabbi's saying prayers on and on for hours. You look out, and you've got a bunch of people with men with beanies on, and scarves with little strings hanging out the bottom of them, and they're sitting up, they're standing down, and this goes on for hours. Then at the end of the service, the rabbi looks at you and looks at the entire congregation and says, okay, Mitch, now you're a man. Now the problem comes in with I grew up in a Christian neighborhood. Now for years, my Christian friends are coming up to me and saying, Mitch, guess what happened last night? I became a man in the back seat of my girlfriend's car. Mitch, I became a man in the basement of my girlfriend's parents' house. One of them even said, Mitch, I became a man in the high jump pit behind the high school. And they'd say to me, how did you become a man? And I'd say, well, I became a man in front of about 300 people with a rabbi. All right, what's next? Marriage. The Jewish ceremony of marriage. Now, I have to tell you, I can't tell you where she is because she'd be mad at me, but my lovely wife is here tonight, and she's told me that whenever I get up on the stage, I cannot talk about her. So I'm not going to talk about the marriage ceremony. I'm going to talk about sex after marriage. Sex after marriage. Right. Now, we all know, or the rumor out there is, that when men and women get married, that as soon as they get married, the sex stops. I can tell it stopped. And, you know, the thing is, people think that it stops because of the woman. I want you to know that in the Jewish religion, the sex stops because of the man, not the woman. Now, I know what you're all thinking, but it's not the fact. You're all thinking that the reason is because of deflated balls. Now, you guys don't really I had to use that. But it's not deflated balls. Have you ever seen in a synagogue when Jewish men pray, they rock back and forth? So I asked a friend of mine, who happens to be a rabbi, what does it mean when Jewish men rock back and forth? He said, that they're making love to the Lord. So I didn't believe it, so I asked another rabbi I know. Without even thinking, he looks at me and says, haven't you ever heard the expression, "Oh, come, all ye faithful"? So the reason why it stops with the guy is because they're exhausted if they go to pray. I like this guy. All right, now there's my children. Great kids. I have 3 beautiful children. The oldest one, it's hard for me to believe, is 30 years old. She graduated from college. She moved in with her best friend, and she started working. So she's working, and after about a couple of years, she calls us, and she says, I just want you to know I'm engaged. So I said to her, you're engaged? I didn't even know you were going out with anybody. So she says, well, I'm engaged to my roommate. Now, I didn't know what to say, but my wife instantly said, couldn't you at least marry a nice Jewish girl? All right, then I don't worry, I only have 2 more kids. My older son is graduated from great engineering school, moved to Europe for a couple of years, and now he's working as an engineer, great kid. My younger son is a senior at Northeastern University, straight A's. So, as you know, I have a lot of issues, and I was always concerned, are these really my kids? They're such great kids. So what I did is I called my wife, and I'm not going to tell you who she is, and I said, listen, we have such great kids, are they mine? Instantly, she says to me, well, if you tell me who's calling, I'll answer the question. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. Well, don't stop. It's good. Thank you.